Now today's episode starts with absolute bombshell news as we have a regulation change confirmed for next season. Along with this, I'm also going to implement a big change of my own for season 3, which I'm very excited about. But with that said, before we jump into the episode, if you haven't seen the previous one, go check it out guys, link in the top right as we get back on board now with this series. And yeah, we're going to jump into the weekend's action here at Monza. So with the reg change confirmed, this could be the massive opportunity we've been waiting for. We're struggling with development to kind of keep up and develop, along with the other teams. So this off-season might present an opportunity for us to really turn a corner and make some improvements. As you can see, this weekend, we've fallen back even further this weekend as we're back to being bottom of everyone, and Mercedes pull away, AlphaTauri pull away, Haas, Williams, they've all brought upgrades and the gap is growing again, which is a real frustration for us at the minute. You can see here in more detail, Aston Martin have also brought upgrades, Alfa Romeo, so yeah, we're being left behind, and our recent results also confirm our pace issues. So with that said, as you can see, we do have 3 major upgrades on the way. However, only really one of them is related to pure performance, which is going to be the weight redistribution. The other 2 are for just overall performance improvements. So like, for example, we can run less fuel. We can also have much stronger brakes to brake later. But yeah, as for this weekend, the weather forecast is dry and we're going to run on 108 for the entire weekend. So then, after practice, we scored maximum points, which is really encouraging. Again, our teammate is another area we're going to look to improve next season. I put out a community post a couple of weeks ago, and the overwhelming favourite, surprisingly, was Sebastian Vettel. I'll do another vote nearer to the time because it was around the time Seb announced his retirement, but I will respect what you guys pick. So it's going to be a crucial change for next season because I feel like Paul Chair is no longer really delivering the performance I want to see. And last race, of course, he cost us by crashing into us in Zandvoort and ruining our race. So a lot has happened in the last few races. We've been kind of away with F1 Manager, but a lot has happened, and next season also has big things happening. So I'm looking forward to the future. For now though, we're here in Q1 in qualifying at Monza. You can see right now we're on a set of soft tyres, making our way up to the line to finish our first time lap, and we're going to see just what the benchmark is as we go P13 and less than a tenth off Lando Norris in P12. However, there's more cars yet to set a lap time and improve as we move over for traffic reasons as Seb drives past, and we went back to the pits, eventually dropping down to P20. Paul Chair is on the cusp in P16 and the margins are very close. However, if we could just find about 2-3 tenths, that would probably get us through, I think, if all goes well. The best lap time so far on this board is Albon in P13 with an 18.4. So yeah, here we are at the end of Q1. I'm letting the traffic go by and we're going to go for a single lap. We're going to make sure we're the last car on track to get the best track conditions, and also we'll have some better references to aim for in terms of sector splits. So here we go, starting our final lap in Q1. Can we move into Q2? We've been struggling in qualifying again recently. Let's try and turn that around. We are actually running 1-0 wings as well. I did try 0-0, but I wanted to have a bit more front end for this final run. So here we go, down to turn 1, braking at the 100-meter board, down to 3rd gear, and making sure we tackle those inside curves, short shifting a little bit to 4th and 5th to make sure we get nice traction as we're up by 3/4 of a tenth in sector 1. Now though, we prepare sector 2, left-right chicane here, as again we're going to try and avoid the inside curves as we're going to go in 4th gear. Easy does it over both of them. We actually scrub off a bit too much speed, and also the exit wasn't great, so we lose about 1/2 a tenth through there. Now though, heading through the Lesmos, we do recover a bit of time through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, so we're looking at about a tenth up in terms of our advantage now in sector 2. And now 1 sector to go, the Ascari chicane can make or break your lap. Brake at the 100, down to 6th, tip the car in, try to be patient on the throttle and get that drive and that exit down into the Michele Alboreto curve, aka the Parabolica, and we're 2 tenths up right now, so this isn't too bad. On the brakes at the 50, down to 5th gear, briefly back up to 6th, but we get a bit of oversteer that we have to catch a little bit as the back end slips, and that causes a bit of time loss on the exit, and we only improve by just under 2 tenths, which isn't really what I hoped for, and it's P21 for us and qualifying over yet again in Q1 as our miserable run of form continues heading into this race weekend. So yeah, Pourchaire also missed out in the end, P17 for him. A better performance from Pourchaire, to be fair, an improvement, compared to recent races. But for us, it's a big struggle and we don't really have an answer right now. We are in trouble and that is just the reality of it. I do feel like we lost a bit of time out of the final corner, also through turn 4 and 5. I reckon there was about another 10th in the lap, maybe a 10th and a half. But there was no way we had enough to get through into Q2. So qualifying over out in Q1 and we've got it all to do in the race for another race weekend here, this time at Monza.
Welcome back to one of only 2 countries that has held a race every year since the very first Formula One World Championship in 1950. It is, of course, Italy, one of the great racing nations, and it's time to get underway for the Italian Grand Prix. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Russell, Joe, and Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, and Vettel, Stroll, Norris, Alex Albon, and Nicholas Latifi, Martinez, Aitken, Tsunoda, and Théo Pourchaire. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now we're starting from 19th place, which is a bit higher than we qualified as a couple of penalties have taken place. I'm not going to lie, there's not really a lot to this race. It's all about being smart and just being intelligent. The strategy is a one-stop. It's pretty straightforward. Now the game is giving us the medium to hard tyre option. The better option is medium to soft, which we are going to try and go for. But that aside, this isn't really where the race is won or lost. The race is won or lost on, like I said, IQ, intelligence. The AI are pretty aggressive in wheel-to-wheel combat here, and you tend to get big blocks of cars at multiple times. So the timing of when you overtake a car, when you try to break away and stuff like that is very important. So we're going to see if we can make it happen and try to be smart and essentially overperform our car, what it can do, by using a bit of intelligence to try and beat the AI at the right time. So that aside, let's get into the formation, let's get the tyres nice and warm, and let's get into the action. Now for this race, we're going to have a special race engineer, and that is a fly that keeps buzzing around my bloody head when I'm trying to focus. Anyway, here we go, race start. We're going to get our tyres nice and warm. Try and push those rear temps up a little bit. If I can, that would be ideal. We're going to line up on the grid. Nice little run up here to get some nice bit of tyre temp in the rubber. Well, let's see, man. Let's see how it goes as we get a bit out of shape. Going to point our car aggressively to the inside to try and cut off any cars behind. Didn't really keep the revs up there, so we've dropped back a little bit. Anyway, let's get into it. Underway. Great start. Really good launch off the line. Inside is wide open, which I fully intend to use. Gonna get on the inside of Latifi here as we now head into the first chicane. It's all going to be very tight and very tricky to make work, but we're going to just about find a bit of space on the outside, and we're going to clear Latifi and Stroll, moving up to P16. But Latifi fighting back here. We're going to defend and cover off the inside completely without running into the back of Seb Vettel if we can avoid it. Use an exit through there. Can we go up the inside of the Lesmo maybe? No, we can't. Instead, Latifi tries to fight around the outside, but we're going to make our car nice and wide there and hold him off. Got a few soft runners in front. Let's see then. 1-0 wings. How is this going to work for us in the race? Looks like we're still not super competitive. Latifi was closing in as Hamilton gets a bit out of shape through there, trying to make a move, or I think that might be Joe, I can't tell. Joe Guanyu, I think, actually, now I think about it. in the Mercedes, and Norris, you can see they're all battling away. I can't fully tell. I think, okay, yes, Joe Guan Yu, Gasly, and Norris. We're going to get a bit of a cutback through the final corner here. Ricciardo into the pits, so possible damage for the McLaren. But look at this. Here we go. This is what I mean about race strategy intelligence at Monza. We need to time this to make 1 or 2 or even 3 moves as we get completely lunged by someone at turn 1. No idea who, but anyway, let's get this move here on Seb Vettel. We know we've got decent straight line speed. Let's make our way through turn 3, using up a lot of battery in this first phase of the race as we want to try and make some progress. Oh, I give up sometimes, honestly. I honestly give up. Damage. So for the second race in a row, we're going to have to get a front wing change. That's annoying because that was only in a straight line and it was just a slight bit of contact. Well, it's going to be hard tyres for us. Seb's going to fight back. I'm not going to fight too hard. We'll let him go. What we are going to do is make sure we get the front wing change selected, unlike the last race, so we don't get screwed over. Yellow flag up ahead. This might bail us out, actually. Stroll pits. Someone's had an issue. We might get lucky here.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Let's see, we're going to pit anyway. It's a Ferrari, it's Charles Leclerc. One of the Alpines into the pits, Esteban Ocon.
Virtual safety cars just been deployed due to a build-up of stopped cars on the track.
Yes.
Watch your pace.
Okay, this actually might work out. I mean, we're going to lose some of the front wing, but still, a VSC, we're going to gain from this quite a bit. Onto a set of hard tyres, we're going to go to the end of the race. Come on, fellas, it needs to be quick. We cannot afford any issues here. And there we go, back underway, hard tyres on the car.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Lovely. So we've completely benefited entirely from that virtual safety car. Right, VSC about to end.
Green flag.
And there it is. So green flag. Only thing now is we're going to be on our own. But that VSC has bailed us out with the front wing change, so we might still be in this race. We're going to lose time, I think, realistically, because of the DRS train, but you never know, we might get lucky. There's a car in the pits right now, which will give us a good indication. It's Magnussen, whether we're in the mix or whether we're quite far back. We're about to find out what the damage is. So let's stay on board here for a moment, just to see where we really are. I think we are still, we've lost time overall. Right, so Magnussen is about to rejoin. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close actually, but we are just going to get ahead actually, so we're in this race. Oh my god, I've completely broken myself there trying to not have Magnussen dive bomb me up the inside. We'll actually let him go, he's on softs. He might be able to pull us along. Let's get into it. Our race starts now. Well, Magnussen has already dropped me out of range as we struggle with the curbs. This hard tyre is not very great early on. The softs are working well. And also it seems like we don't have any pace. So this could be a long race. Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane. That's not ideal for Aston Martin. He's gone onto a set of hard tyres, so he's going to be on the same strategy as us, but behind us on track.
We're currently trailing our teammate by 23.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 14th place. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 22.2.
So Paul Chair, 22.2 last lap. We've done a 21.5 in clean air, so that's good. We're faster without the DRS. We're going to match our personal best on this lap. So this is looking pretty decent at the minute. We are running low on battery. Seb is slightly quicker. Of course, the 3 cars ahead are now battling for position. And they all have to pit again, of course, off that soft tyre. So at the minute, we're running in about P17. And of course, more cars yet to pit ahead as well. Ocon in the pit lane. So looks like he's in for his second stop of the race. I think he was just ahead of us, battling with Ricciardo and Magnussen, so he may have got damage. Not sure. Either way, upper place as Ricciardo and K-Mag battle away. Okay, Lando Norris is in the pit lane. This will give us a better indication as to where we really are in the pecking order. As Lando, of course, got knocked out in Q1 with us. So he was further down the order, but it looks like he's still comfortably ahead. Ricciardo stays out, Magnussen pits. So we have lost time even with that virtual safety car. And there we go, Ricciardo also pits. So I don't think any damage. They've all just pit on separate laps. P17 for us now. I think the best we can hope for is like P13 or something this race, if I'm being realistic. Here we go then, the AI are starting to make their pit stops. It'll be of course this lap and the next, when the majority of them get their stops done. So let's see where we are in this race. This is going to reveal everything. As also Sebastian Vettel is about to get within my DRS. He's closing in. Let's see. Yellow flag at Lesmo. Ricciardo has made a mistake, but has got going again. So we've cleared Albon and Latifi. Up to P15, that's 2 cars we've passed. Pourchaire should be in this lap. Okay, let's see where this goes. We should be ahead of Pourchaire, I think. It's going to be a nice little battle in the second half of the race. Between all of us on the hard tyre, I'm going to obviously struggle a bit more trying to get mine to the end of the race. Sonoda in, Aitken in, Pourchaire in. We should gain a bunch of places. We match our personal best on that lap, which is crucial. And there we go, we're racing cars on pit exit. We're racing Stroll for P11 by the looks of it. Here we go. A bit hot on the brakes as we try to outbrake Lance. He'll be on cold tyres. This is going to bring Seb into play. I've got no real battery left to fight with. But like I said, we've got the tyre temp advantage. Here comes Stroll. We'll defend on the inside. Right, let's see if I can pull away here. While he's on cold rubber. I'd like to drop him out of DRS range if I could here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, I think Lance is already up to speed. I might actually let him pass me and I'll just slot behind and just basically try to recharge battery and save a bit of tyres. Pourchaire's battling with Seb, so it's Aston Martin versus 97 Racing here in this race. Here goes Lance. We're just going to slot him behind nicely. And we'll see where this takes us. Okay, Lando Norris in for a second stop, which will move us to P11, and that will mean this battle is now for a point. So we're still alive in this race. Stroll's pace is very good, by the way. My tyre wear is an issue. I'm trying to recharge, but it's not easy. Oh my god. That was close. Stroll's pulling away. I'm losing a lot under acceleration, even on 1-0 wings. We're going to set a personal best. Here is the tyre wear update, for those of you that might be wondering. So we are going to get to the end, no dramas. Into the higher 20s, pretty big improvement there just by running in DRS. Vettel and Pourchaire battling into the final corner, and something's happened because Sonoda's got past as well. Either way, we're focused on our own race here. We're just sitting behind Stroll trying to get a bit of recharge. We're now just starting to manage. It's taking edges, but we're able to save a bit of battery now, which is going to be key. And then we'll try and pass Stroll with a few laps to go before he goes into full power mode. Important that we time this correct. Seb is right on my gearbox here. He's using battery, he's looking for the move. I'm having to use battery to hold on. I really don't want to drain what I've got left. I've worked hard to recover this battery, but Seb's forcing the issue here, and this is going to drop us out of DRS range on Stroll, which is the worst thing. You can see the pressure is just relentless here. He does have better tyres than me. Mine are the oldest out of everyone. But yeah, I'm having to just drain what I've got here because Seb is just in endless ERS mode here. So I just have to keep using mine to stay in front. Oh, I'm struggling now. Oh my god. Why is Seb doing that? Why are you going for that move? Come on. Let's try and close up to Stroll here. We're going to have to use what we've got left. It's just getting really tense now. We're bunching up a lot. Oh my god, Verstappen's out of the race. Okay, that is definite points for us then.
The gap to the car in front is less than 1 second now. Well done. Let's try and get past him in the DRS zone.
Got to try and stay in front here. Oh, damn it. I give up. How did the AI brake so late? How do they do it? How do they brake so late? Oh, what a frustrating race. They just have endless battery. Endless, it doesn't end.
Strategy available on the MFD.
They can just go forever. And they never run out of battery, it's just a joke. Snow's going to get past it. Wait for the stupid move. The worst thing is they go for those moves and they brake check. Right in the middle of the corner.
Got that confirmed.
I'm not enjoying this game at all. Let's get the soft tyres on. Let's get another wing change and we'll serve for 5 seconds. It's going to be a very long stop, this one. I just want to cry. Things I do for this entertainment. This game has been terrible for me in terms of, I've gained nothing from it. And this is just frustrating. Driving game with endless issues and this terrible AI, inconsistent AI. F1 Manager is so much better than this. It's my fault, my mistake, but I'm just annoyed. How can the AI brake so late perfectly every time? Unlimited battery, every single lap, every single time. Seb was draining everything on every straight, every single lap there. Just slowing down now, we've set the fastest lap. I'm going to let myself get lapped. I don't want to do another lap of this race. I just want to move on to the next one. So yeah, sick and tired of this. Just going to wait to get a lap down and finish the race now. There's so many things that I don't like about this game. I think if I could restart this, my team I would, because it'd be a completely different experience. I don't think any of the patches have actually applied themselves correctly in this save. And if I started again, it would make such a big help. Anyway, let's let Leclerc go by here.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Or signs, more like. There we go.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Right then, there we go, race done. I want to quickly mention, I saw someone comment on an old My Team video of mine from F1 2020, and I happened to watch the video, and it struck with me how much more enthusiastic I sound back then compared to now. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not really enjoying this game at the minute, I'm going to be honest, but anyway. We'll keep pushing. We've got a few more races to go this season. I really hope next season turns around for us, because if it doesn't, it's going to be long, very long. Either way, here is your final order. So Sainz, Perez, Alonso on the podium, Russell, Schumacher, big points for Haas. This is devastating for us in the battle for 6th in the Constructors. Zhou Guanyu and Lewis Hamilton 6th and 7th, and then we've got Gasly, Stroll and Vettel. So both Aston Martins and Gasly scoring points for AlphaTauri. Ocon out the points, so no doubt the points. Porsche, Albon, Latifi, Aiken, Ricciardo, Norris, Magnussen, myself, Verstappen and Leclerc. Standings, we are still P11, Schumacher 1 point behind, Russell 3 points behind, so those two are imminent. Constructors, we're still P7, but AlphaTauri close the gap, and so do Aston Martin, and the pressure is building. Haas are out of the equation now, they're too far away, so let's go into upgrades and let's see if we can try to respond and improve, because we're slipping away big time. So back in the office, we're going to waste no time and get to work. So first of all, activities, we're going to fill these up really quickly. We'll go for the auto fuel, save a bit of time. As you can see, that works out okay for us, not really too bothered about that. Elsewhere, we've got quite a bunch of resource points coming in. The next race is on the 29th, which is 2 weeks away, so quite a big turnaround and plenty of time to get upgrades on. So, we're going to go for Aero first. We are going to go for the Halo for the rear downforce. It's got a pretty big discount, so we're going to take advantage of that. It's another major upgrade, so we're going to keep pushing on. And that, to be fair, that's going to make a bit of progress. If you look at the chart, it's going to move us all the way up to Haas, to be fair, so that's quite good. And we definitely need that. So right now, we'll save the rest of our points. As you can see, we've had 2 of the upgrades come through for the engine and the chassis, which we'll confirm now. So let's quickly run through those. As you can see, the fuel flow regulator has arrived, which is good. And then on the chassis, we've had the fuel tank positioning. So 2 major upgrades on the car and another chassis one on the way. And it's going to arrive, I think, in time for the next race on the 29th. So we will have 3 upgrades on the car, hopefully, for the next race. Now we have to choose a rival, and to be fair, we've been given some pretty strong options. We'll go for Russell, as he's the most realistic one I've got a chance to beat, and he was our previous rival, which I believe we won actually, but I never actually covered it. I jinxed it. I bloody jinxed it. We've had a failure. To be fair, I think it's our first one, or maybe our second one of the whole season, but the brake disc width has failed. Now, normally I'd repurchase this, but we do have that reg change on the way, so I'm going to keep my 1200 points, and you know, we've already got, of course, the Halo upgrade as well. Now, I'm going to just hold back on that brake upgrade. We're going to see if the regulation change is announced in Singapore, because if it affects the chassis, there's no point in wasting points on that. So worst case, or not worst case, but basically what I'm trying to say is in the next episode we will repurchase the brakes and throw on another upgrade on top of that, because we'll have a big chunk of points to spend if the regulation change isn't confirmed. So yeah, with that said, we're ready for Singapore, guys. Double upgrade on. It's going to help us out massively anyway, so leave a like if you enjoyed the race. You know, we tried to fight for a point and I messed it up in the end, so my fault, my bad. To be fair, both crashes are my fault, so yeah, I've been all over the place lately. It feels like since I've been driving F1 Manager, I've forgotten how to drive in this game, which, yeah, wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, subscribe for more. We've got more content coming your way soon, and yeah, I'm really kind of just waiting for Season 3 now. That's what I'm hoping for in my head, and I've got some changes lined up, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys. As always, a massive plug to the members for supporting the content and supporting the channel. As always, check out the videos if you haven't seen them on screen right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one for Singapore. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.